Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Chili's. I'm just kidding. No, Chili's. Yeah. How's everybody today? Who's all here? Hi. I'm gonna try this new playlist I found because the other one I've been playing for like 7 years, something like that. A little bit too long, I think. So we're gonna try this other one. See how it goes. Hopefully it's not too loud. Oh, maybe that's too loud? I don't know. Let me know if it's too loud. Hi Cavendish, how you doing? How you doing? So we're gonna be doing this piece today, which is actually for one of my patrons, and I've owed it to them for a very, 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 very long time. So I'm finally getting around to doing this, which I'm happy about. It's not too loud? Okay. Is it loud enough where you can hear it? Is it nice ambient loud, or is it like kind of just I can barely hear it? It's gonna be a marker piece today, so back to my markers. Forgot what we did last week. Oh, I think last week was marker too, actually. That's okay. How's your week, Cavendish? Did you have a good time? Hi, Erica. Oh, you're on YouTube. Cool. So that's working good too. Awesome. Well, I'm glad the audio sounds good. Good. Thank you for letting me know. I've got my cheesy green screen background again. How about that? It's just this, you wouldn't want to see the rest of this room anyway, because it's literally a corner and just some of Gabe's like music stuff. That's, you don't want to see that. So I figure every time if I show myself, it's at least kind of fun, because then, I don't know, you get a different place. Sometimes I'll be in a forest or something. I don't know. I know it's cheesy. I don't care. Who cares? Not only that, but I started making a VTube avatar. I kind of want to show her to you, but I can't get her to work right now because I don't have the permissions for the webcam. But maybe I can just show you a thing. So the VTuber thing is when I don't want to have my camera on. And usually I have this little me who's like, where is it? I think typically, there I am. So it's usually just a little GIF of me, but instead I ended up making an actual VTuber thing. So that lip syncs to my mouth, it has motion, it's more interesting that way. So actually, let me see real quick if I can give it permissions. Gotta find settings on stuff. Give me a camera. I don't know, I think it'd be cool to show you. I guess start Steam. Writing group is finalizing our latest collection of short stories. Yeah! Nice, Cavendish. What do you guys end up doing with them? I actually think I need a secondary camera if I'm using one at the same time. So I think if my face is on, I can't use another one. So I would need to have another camera up, which I do downstairs, but I'll get this for next time. It's too much screwing around right now. All right, so let's get to it. This person wanted a cute little farm scene with a cat, a bird, and a mouse. So that's what I did. So we've got that going on. And right now the lines are really light, and they're probably going to get even lighter after I start adding the color. But that's okay, because we're just going to end up going over them in the end anyway. I think that's a pretty good color for the cat. Maybe the cat should be more orange. Even though that is kind of a tabby color. Hi, EB. I'm gonna start calling people by their usernames even if I do know your real name, because I feel like I'm breaching some sort of privacy thing if I call you by your name. So, I don't know. I would assume some people don't like it too. So just in case, I'm gonna call everybody by their username. Yeah, maybe that is a good color for the cat. Really? Oh, good! Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. That makes me so happy. Oh, man. Well, I'm glad it got to you safe, too. I had somebody that's in my state that's a friend of mine, and he didn't get his Patreon stuff until, like, today, which is weird because my Canada people were getting it last week, like 2 or 3 days after I sent it out, so I was kind of confused by that. So his mail must have been, I made a joke and said his mail was constipated, but I wonder what the real delay was. Sometimes mail's late and I don't know why. Like maybe if there was a holiday or something that makes sense, but I don't think there was one. So this is going to be marker first, then colored pencil, and then some pastel work. But they wanted a really cute scene, so I went overly cute on the animals. Almost like, you know, baby toddler room art sort of thing. But how was everybody's week? What's the best thing you did last week? The most fun thing? Oh, it should be coming. I think I sent that the next day after I sent out your Patreon stuff. Pretty sure. On a personal note, I kicked ass this week with everything I had, and it's been a while since I could say that, but I was doing really good, and I'm really proud of myself. I got like 4 people's Dandikin things done, which is Patreon tier of mine. I got like 3 Pet and Armors penciled. It's not bad. And I started this. I finished up another one of these. Like I had a good week. And what's even weirder is I had a medical procedure last week, and I had another appointment too that, you know, I wasn't at home, so I couldn't work, but I still got a lot done, so I was owed a pretty good productive day. Really, I was. It had been a minute. So, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Oh yeah, happy Mother's Day this weekend. Oh my god. So, apologies. I usually forget when Mother's Day is. My mom passed in 2006, so I haven't really celebrated a Mother's Day for a very long time, so I usually forget when it is. And I forgot to pimp my Mother's Day piece I had. Damn it. That's okay. Oh well. But, yeah, if you're a mom, happy Mother's Day. If you're a pup mom or a kitty mom, happy Mother's Day. I think you're a mother. A learning experience. Yeah, it's true. Erica, if you have any questions on convention stuff, like any weird things that may have happened to you or something, or how to handle any sort of situation, I was doing cons for like 7 years, 2 a month, every month. Like, I've done big cons, small cons. So if you have anything you need help with, let me know. I'd be so happy to just tell you. That goes for anybody. If anybody's curious about anything with convention life, let me know. There are hacks you can do too. Like, one of the best things you can do if you're going to plan on doing them for a while is to get a credit card that gives you points. There were a couple years where we didn't have to pay for any plane or hotel because we just paid through them with points. So that usually works really well. And I was scared to death of credit for the longest time, but it was okay. Oh, it's okay, B. It was a long time ago, but thank you. I appreciate the sentiment. But it is weird. You usually, like, I feel like you'll either notice Mother's Day more if you lose a mom, or you notice it less. I think it depends on your kind of relationship with your mother, that sort of thing. But either way, happy Mother's Day to the mothers out there. To the mammies. I did this drawing first in Clip Studio, and I've got a time-lapse of that I'm going to give to my patrons. So that'll be coming later on. Let's see. Let's do this guy up here. Straw hats for everybody. Gotta be, right? Straw hats. Today is one of the 2 days my town is having a cute little festival. You know how towns have kind of their own themed festival for the town? Ours is today. So the parade is at 3, so if you end up hearing a bunch of honking and dogs barking and all that, that's probably what that's going to be. But I wanted to go to it, but I didn't want to cancel a stream for that. But there is like a boat parade tonight that's lighted. Which looks really fun, so we wanted to go see that. So that's at, I think, 8:30, something like that. So at least we'll go see that. Oh yeah, anytime, Erica. Oh, that's sweet. What's the art project, if I can ask? I think that's a cute thing to do with your mom. I think moms like crafty stuff. Like, I don't know a mom who doesn't like crafty stuff, you know? Like, there's those silly macaroni necklace things that kids make in macaroni picture frames, and I don't know why everything involves macaroni and kids, but whatever. But those are cute. Those things are always cute. See, make this. I'll do a lot of the detail after all the colors in. Ceramics, yes! Oh, Evie, that's so sweet. I love that so much. I think that's one of those things that's just the most wholesome thing you can do with someone else, is just share in a craft, you know? I think that stuff is so sweet. I gotta figure out what I'm making the wood color. I think it's gonna be an actual wood color. Kind of. Yeah, that's pretty good. And the walkthrough that I owe my patrons, I think I'm gonna do the first one that I think I can and will do right away is the one for my Kieran sculpt that I did for Cloverpuff. So there was a figure that my friend Cloverpuff made, and it's a Kieran, and it's made out of vinyl. And she gave me a blank one so that I could do a custom on it. So, you know, you give your figure to an artist and then they do like custom painting on it. I added a bunch of like little satchels and things. I took epoxy and I made a bunch of things to add on to it. And so I was going to write up Patreon post about my first time using epoxy and kind of how to do it and the pros and cons of it and all that sort of stuff. So that's the one I think I'm going to do this month. And I'll throw in links to all the, where to get it. Stuff like that. But it was really nice to use. I would really like to use it again. Because my thing is I'm very impatient a lot of the time with a lot of things. So epoxy was nice because it really forced me to really get the little parts done within a certain time period. Because once you mix together the two parts of epoxy, it starts drying immediately, like hardening. So you have to really go quickly, and I love that. I really like the challenge of that. For those of you who know me, I really like time challenges when it comes to art, and I know that's very much a no-no for a lot of artists. They typically like to spend hours and hours and hours on things, but not me, man. I think it's more fun to kind of have a time limit and see what you can make in a certain amount of time. I think it's exciting. That's me. So, and that's why I typically on stream I like doing start and finish pieces, because then I feel like, you've kind of tested everything you've learned in a certain amount of time, and I think it's cool to see what you can make. Oh yeah, Cricut projects. I love my Cricut. You did? Oh, good for you. Hi, Isabel. Yeah, don't think you have to stay the whole time if you can't. That's totally cool. No problem. I am here for at least probably 2 hours. And I've got to start coloring some portraits coming up, so I might stream for those. And not only just stream, but I might use the VTuber avatar I made. Because those are probably days I'm going to be looking pretty scraggly. I mean, I look scraggly now, I'll be honest. My hair is super not cool today. But, I'll be using that VTuber avatar because it's pretty much done. It's just I have to finalize some stuff with it. I wanted to get its hand motions, but you have to put in a whole nother program to even do that. Yep, life drawing for those is perfect. If you want to get better at life drawing, start at like a 10-minute life drawing sketch, then go to 5 minutes, then go to 3, 1, and then 30 seconds. And if you do that like enough every day, do that session, and it's obviously less than a half an hour, you will get really good at doing gesture sketches and having life in all your figures. Because what it forces you to do is, that 10-minute sketch is basically the warm-up, so you get used to drawing again and looking at things and putting them on paper. But then the 10-minute, 5-minute, 1 minute, that whole thing, it really forces you to get down to the fundamentals of what makes that pose, and it's so important. And if you do that enough, you'll learn which pieces of it are the most important to get down first. It's so good. It's like the best exercise you can really do for yourself. A mug press, yes! Oh, fun. I really want to do that. I really want to do screen printing too. I did it in high school and I loved it, and I would love to do it again. But it requires a good amount of stuff. You need like screens, you need the ink, you need the press, you need the hot press for the clothes. It's a thing. Yeah, it really does get you over the hyperfixation. Especially if you're doing it with friends, then they can kind of make sure you don't cheat too. Which, that's always a good thing. Is this gonna be too light. That might be too light. Cat was 70. So what's this one look like? Yeah. I might have to make the cat a little bit of a different color because the hay I want to be this color. Right? It was so fun because people would be squealing and you'd be like, ah! I don't know. I do miss that group setting, and especially when you had like nude models and you weren't really used to it and everyone was uncomfortable at the same time, and then eventually you all got over it together. I loved that. There was something that was kind of magical about everybody getting used to something together. Not like it's trauma or anything like that, but it really did feel cool to have that kind of an experience together. It's like you really were growing, you know, as one. And that, I think, is one of those things that if you do go to an art college, that's worth experiencing, you know. I'm not saying you have to go to art college because, God forbid, there's, you know, a bunch of scams now, especially at the art college I went to. But even so, there are perks to being in an in-person college. You do learn certain things you can't learn from online classes and all that. But there are pros and cons to everything, so really just kind of follow your heart on that. Like, I don't regret it, and I think if I was around nowadays, I still probably would have gone to an art school. I just would have probably researched better, because mine was not the best. But I didn't know what I was doing at the time, so I don't really blame my younger self. I did what I did, and that's all I could do when I could do it. I'm still happy with my journey so far, so I can't really complain. And I've heavily went away from social media lately. Like, I'm trying really hard to just not touch it anymore because it's become so bad. So bad. I can't imagine being an up-and-coming artist now with how the algorithms are and everything's kind of pitted against you. It's a very different place than it was. Like, I feel like when it was starting out, it was actually fair. And I don't even know what that really means, but it was different compared to now. Now it's like, since AI's gotten involved, a lot of things are getting crazy. Yeah. Wouldn't it be weird, though, to, like, be going to the school, but also be a nude model at the school? So it's like all your classmates know what you look like naked? Which I guess if you wanted to get it on with more people, that'd be a good way to do it. But at the same time, I don't know. Be tough, but that was, you know, that's a good paying job. Exactly, Cavendish, yeah. There's somebody you might see later, so it's just like, hey, I know where you've got a birthmark. Cool. Later. Basically. I'm too nervous. So I don't know if some of you know about this, but Instagram has a thing where they pay people to make reels now. And Gabe has had it for, I think, a couple months already. I just got it like halfway through last month. And it makes me think that it's trying to, like, Instagram's trying to smooth over how artists are starting to feel about their algorithm, so that they're literally offering people money, you know, to kind of shut up and be like, okay, we're paying you for content now, be quiet, that whole thing. So I find it interesting, and it's on a sliding scale. It depends on how many plays your reels get, but it does kind of push you to create more reels, which I hate because we are in dire need of money. Gabe ended up getting a job just to pull in some extra cash, like a really, really dumb job, but we needed one quickly, and he's the only one that's got the time for it right now. Once I finish all my commissions, I'll be probably getting one too, but it's just not a really good time to be an independent artist online. It's like COVID's still happening despite what people are acting like, and no one's really buying things. Conventions still aren't in full swing, so attendance is still low in a lot of places. So it is a do what you can time still, especially here in the US. Like it's not easy, especially if you're not like a well-known artist. You know, I've got 10K people, but I really think half of those are bots. My engagement is ridiculously low. So I can't even tell you how serious that is. Like, you depend on social media to get people to buy your stuff, but then you can't depend on social media because it's not working for you. It's not fair across the board with who gets exposure where. So it's like you can't even depend on it. But anyway, so it is back to the whole get a part-time job and try to do your art hustle as well. My dorm room had a group meeting and told us that the dorm had a tradition of being clothing optional, which they would like to continue, but everyone had to consent. Eee, no pressure. That would make me uncomfortable. Yeah, I suppose, Cavendish. What a way to make your roommates super uncomfortable right away. If they didn't like the idea of everyone being naked, they would be the one to blame for everyone not being able to be naked. Like, immediately that seems just mean, honestly. It's super peer pressure-y. Maybe that's a guy thing? Did you have an all-guy dorm or something? I don't know, that would make me uncomfortable. It was co-ed even? Wow. Yeah, back in college, I think I wouldn't have been a part of that, probably. This haystack looks like ice cream, and I have no problems with that. Oh, really? Okay. Interesting. Did it end up where it was just one guy that was always naked and everybody else was just like, oh, okay. Okay. Well, if it was just like underwear, I feel like that's a different story. But if they're like butt-ass naked, like, I don't know about that. So both of these things are using the exact same markers. There's 2 markers I'm using. I'm just reversing which ones are the majority of it, of the color. And I wanted to do that because I wanted these to look like older hay, where this is like newer hay, fresher hay. So like the color I'm using now is actually the main color that's on the roofs, whatever. And the other one is the reverse, so. Oh, I see. Even so, man, I don't think I could do that. Oh, it's nice they wouldn't shame you. It would make me wonder, though, if people would try to come over to your apartment just to get a glimpse of someone. Like, if word got out that your dorm was, like, okay with that. So you'd come out and there's a stranger there who just wanted to see you get naked and be like, I don't know about this. Like that guy in your AV class wanted to see you naked and here he is now. And you're naked. It's like, okay. What the hell? This is Christmas music. What is going on? No. Damn this new playlist. Well, I'm glad it was a positive experience. That's good. Are these all going into... Okay. Here I am worried that they just started shoveling some... some Christmas music at me. That would not be cool. Is anybody working on art right now? Kind of along with me? God. So many cars are, more specifically trucks, are just barreling down our street today. Our street is the only street in like our blocks that doesn't have stop signs, so it gets the most traffic and the most people speeding, and it sucks. Like the sort of thing where you better hope your dog doesn't get out because they're just gonna end up getting plastered. Because somebody's just gonna speed by. Gonna be a little plot of dirt here, but it's gonna be surrounded by grass. So I have to transition the dirt to grass. Relaxing and watching? Oh, I'm glad. Definitely. Take time to relax. Cross-posting on Twitter with links and no one ever saw my posts. Yeah. Apparently you're not supposed to use hashtags or anything with anything anymore, which I don't understand then. Yeah, watercolor pet portrait. Nice. Ooh, yeah. What do you think you're gonna have, Elizabeth? Sorry, EB. That's gonna be a hard habit for me to break. Bouldering. Whoa. Is that your main hobby, Isabel? People that do that, man, I got mad respect for you. It looks like it would just kill your hands. I mean, I know you probably have gloves or something, like the chalk or whatever, but man. It's probably a good workout too. I've always heard like rock climbing and such are good workouts, but jeez. I have a thing with heights, so I could never do it. I mean, even if I'm like 10 feet off the ground, I start having problems. I can't do heights. Oh, wow. Woo. Oh, my fingers. They hurt just thinking about it. I guess that's one good way to keep your arms in shape for drawing, huh? You're very rusty? Well, at least you did it at some point. I assume doing it at one point in your life is at least better than, you know, starting from zero. That's gotta be really rough. Like, if I wanted to do it, it would probably take me a really long time. Yeah, no. Me and heights, That's something my friends didn't understand when I was growing up. When we'd go to, like, theme parks, and they'd want to go on, like, roller coasters and stuff, that I don't want to. Like, majority of theme park rides are having to do with heights or spinning, and I don't think that's fun. The only kind of theme park thing I like is water slides. But even that for me is tough because I only like certain ones that don't have giant drops. Because I hate drops, I hate heights, spinning, all the stuff. It's like, I don't like any of those, so theme parks are basically just food and games for me. And standing at the bottom with everyone's merch, I love doing that. Everybody's always like, oh, poor Ashley at the bottom, you gotta hold our coats and our drinks. I'm like, I like it. I think it's fun. I don't mind. Somebody has to be that guy, right? I'm okay with it. Oh, you too, Dennis. DM Dennis. I'm trying to call people by their actual usernames now. I hope you had a good week too, man. Vertigo or fear heights, yeah. Bouldering's not super high. Well, that's good. Yeah, the panic state. Oh my god. I've been in that maybe 2 or 3 times in my life where my legs just freeze and I can't move. Not ideal. Hello, adorable kittens. Again, I know your names and I don't want to ruin any sort of privacy thing or whatever, so I'm just going to call everybody by their username now. How you doing? I'm doing okay minus the fact that we're in the worst money position we've been in years. So Gabe had to get a job. So it's not fun right now, but we're trying. Though I am kicking ass on a lot of my portrait stuff. So, which includes yours, kittens. I've got 6 out of the 7 of the batch that they're penciled, and then once the 7th one gets done, then I go back and I color them all. So yours is in there. So once I get the last pencils done on this other one, then I'll go back. I'll send out an email. I do a bulk email now where I'm like, okay, your pencils are done. Now I'm going back through and I'm doing everybody's, so you should have it in like a month. Is the same thing, Evie. I could see that. Yeah, I think that's why those people, the adrenaline junkies, kind of do theme park tours. They, you know, theme park hops so they can get different types of roller coasters and stuff. Oh, really, Isabel? Just out of nowhere it happens? Like, even to those who have gotten used to it? That's somewhat heartening for people like me. Knowing that it can happen to anybody. It's crazy, though. It's really weird, too, because it's not always crazy tall heights, either. It could just be a little bit, but it really depends on, like, whatever it is that's kind of separating you from the heights. If you have a really sturdy gate, you know, or a fence or something, it's not as bad. But if you're not too high up, but it's really a rickety thing, no. Like, you can panic just as good. Just as good. Yeah, we are struggling, hands down, 100%. So apologies on him not getting what he owes you, but he is now basically working 3 jobs, including one that has nothing to do with art. And if you want to talk about it outside of the stream, I'm cool with that. I just don't necessarily want to mention what he does unless, you know, he's okay with it on stream. I'm sure he'd be fine if you knew, but bless him, he's a very wonderful husband and a very sweet man. I'm very lucky. Oh, fatigue. Yeah, I suppose if you're tired, that must set in pretty quickly. God, I can't even imagine that. I gotta test some blues for the bird. I wanted the bird to be blue and the cat to be like those colors, but I think I might change the colors of the cat a little bit. Yeah, I'm just trying to really, like, put out this fire for the final time, and then, you know, then I'll be able to help him out. So he doesn't have to carry it all right now, because the only money I'm making is basically Patreon. Every month it's like $7.50 or something, and that's it. It's the only thing I have time to do while I'm trying to finish up all these things. But I talk about this every stream. You guys are probably fucking sick of this. But I am going to Dragon Con in August, as long as it's not canceled for some reason. I'm scared to hell to go. Scared crazy, because, man, I don't want to get COVID. But I also can't roll over my table. So, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, yeah, Cavendish. That's what I'm talking about. Screw that. Honestly, Isabel, I've never had very good, dependable sales online. Online sales are just so... You can't even force that, you know? Like, I mean, Etsy was okay. If you start putting money into Etsy ads, it's almost consistent. Like, weekly, you could maybe depend on 3 things being sold. Something like that. But now that I've kind of chilled on Etsy and moved everything to my website, it's up in the air. I have put some money into Google Ads and SEO, and that gets people there, but that doesn't necessarily mean the people then buy things, you know? So there's a huge difference between getting people there, but also getting them to buy things. So with how much limited resources I have to work with to put into like ads or something else, it's smarter right now for me to put it into Patreon and have my Patreon be the kind of marketing that I want. Because the Etsy things and the the website sales are nice, but they're usually one-offs. If I can get like a $4 patron to stay on Patreon for like 6 months, that almost is better, especially if I have a bunch of people. So, you know. Yeah, I kept Etsy open. It's just people aren't reading my notes on there about buying all those things, because all those things are available on my website. And I try to direct them to my website from there, even though I don't think you're not supposed to. But because Etsy takes a huge cut. Huge. Like if I sell $300 commissions on my website, it maybe takes like $10. But on Etsy, it'll take like $50. It's insane. So it's a huge chunk. So I really want people to go to the other place, but yeah. It was slow. Oh, Cavendish. Maybe that was the scariness of it. Like maybe they banked on that. Yeah, exactly, Isabel. I mean, a lot of my stuff I don't mind selling, you know, because like my books and things, I've still got a decent number of those left. So it's like, I don't mind that those sell because, you know, I've got them. Why not sell them? It's just, it's not as much that you get back, you know. But it's nice on Patreon to have people that, you know, hang in there. Like, I think it's cool when I have people that they join, and then like a month later they're like, oh my god, this was so cool, can I, you know, add on another tier? Like I had somebody today who wanted to add on another tier to the one they've got, so they get, you know, 2 different things a month. I'm like, oh yeah, absolutely you can. That's one of my favorite things, because then I can actually send like a little envelope within an envelope. And that's always super fun. So I like that. Oh, thank you, EB. Believe me, once I get more time, everything will get better. I'll be able to offer even more things. So I'm really happy that you like it. Thank you. And that you're there. I just don't want anybody staying on out of pity. Don't stay on out of pity ever. It's never a good thing. I'm glad you did too. Thank you. You can change the currency display on Squarespace if that's the only thing you're having trouble with, Isabel. I've seen tutorials on how to change your currency display on Squarespace. So if you want to change that, I think you can. Shopify, in my opinion, like, is too expensive. I don't know. I didn't like it when I looked into it. Plus, I've got too much crap on Squarespace, so. If you have a Patreon and also back other Patreons, it uses the money you got to give the ones you back. Yeah, so I actually have probably 10 friends that I back on Patreon, and every month it just takes like $10 from the money I made from Patreon and just funnels it to them. So, I mean, that's just what it is. It used to be better too, because you could back a friend on Patreon and they would back you, and then under their profile it would say that they're backing you, and then that would be kind of like a cross promotion thing for each other. You know, if you're just paying $1 each month to each other and it shows up like, oh, Ashley's backing, you know, Isabel on Patreon. But now they make it so you can't really see it as well. So it's kind of useless now. I mean, other than supporting your friends, but yeah. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, if you ever have an international person, then you're going to have those conversion fees anyway, aren't you? Oh, really? I've got the $24 tier for that, if I remember right. I used to have the $12 one, but I had to upgrade it so I could have like up to 1,000 pages or something. Because when I was doing the Guardians, doing their digital pages, I got up to too many, so I had to add on. But yeah, whatever works for you. I suppose it's really tough having that sort of thing with international like things. Stuff must be different. I mean, Shopify also depends on what kind of plugins you have too, right? Like if you have a different kind of plugin for shirts or, you know, other sorts of merch, I think then you get additional things you have to pay for, like to be able to use it. It's almost like Steam. When you buy things on Steam and they're all kind of plugged into your main hub, Shopify is similar to that. Oh, I gotcha, Isabel. Well, yeah, do whatever works for you the best, for sure. Yeah, fees like crazy. And that's one of the things that Etsy was doing that was just like, really? Come on, man. God, $49? Eesh. I don't know what plan that is, but that sounds steep. Give this cat an orange shirt. Well, that's good. But Squarespace doesn't let you do that? You sure? That seems like a basic thing. Maybe it depends on the template you have installed. Weird. That seems very strange. Wonder why they don't. Seems absolutely bonkers. I don't know why they would do that. Oh my gosh. No! What? Oh my god. That sounds ridiculous. Probably gonna do a lot of lace on this, but for the moment I'm just gonna have it be what color it is now. Yeah, that's crazy. That doesn't sound right. I don't see how they could not get away with that. Yeah. No, I don't know, man. Like, I'm over trying to figure out everything. I'm a very techie person, and I was raised with tech. I know how to code. I can animate using After Effects and use Unity, and like, I have all this tech background, and I tell you, I'm just kind of tired of figuring it out from other things. I'm getting tired. I think that's what happens. And that's why adults just kind of shy away from tech at one point. It's like they just get tired of using it. That plus getting tired of social media and all the things. Just get tired of it. Oh yeah, WordPress. Let's see. Yeah, it's the cat. It's 100% the cat. I thought that when I drew him, and I was like, oh my god. Ashley. Did you just rip off Richard Scarry? And I was like, I don't know. Probably. There's this one book my dad used to read to me when I was little, except it wasn't reading it. It was a, like, point to the bus. You know, where's the teapot? Like one of those things. And I remember that book very well. So who knows, maybe I'm getting, like, Richard Scarry injected into my art. But yeah, that's the cat. Thank you, Cavendish. Thanks, everybody. It's a little bit overly cute, I think, for my usual stuff, but I'm okay with that. Like, I went a little bit gooey cute instead of just kind of lightly cute. I went hard. I rounded everyone out. So, it is what it is. This is for someone, and I know kind of the style they like, so hopefully they don't show up on the stream. I don't want them to have it ruined for them. Oh, thank you, Isabel. You guys heard about AI artwork? And like art being made by AI? I've seen some things on Twitter lately about it, and it is scary as hell. What are your thoughts on that, Isabel? Like, there's a program now where you can just input, like, Van Gogh and, like, Monet, and it'll just make a piece that looks like it could have been made by them. This is insane. Which we knew it would come to this, but we didn't know it would be this soon, you know? It's crazy. I really didn't think it would be this quick that they would have it. Like, I knew it happened in my lifetime probably, but I didn't realize that it could potentially affect my business. But the way it's growing, I think it could. Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan. Because some people are already starting to include it in, like, artists are starting to include it in their work. Like, they'll have part of it be AI generated and then just maybe paint on top of it or whatever. And at that point, how much of it is yours? You know? Like, it gets really kind of scary. Because eventually, what does that mean? Does that mean you won't actually need artists? If you can just generate a whole bunch of concepts? And it's not just like kind of crappy art either. It's starting to make sense. Like, that's the really weird thing. What is that color? What did I use? I thought it was this. Is it this? What color is this? Maybe it's not that color. Weird. Stays in denial. Yeah, NFTs, AI artwork. And we're not going to be able to avoid it forever either. And all these things happening this year and last year that are coming out of the woodwork just keep pushing me more and more out of wanting to be an artist at all. I'll be honest. Like, I've had daydreams lately of going back to just doing a very basic non-art job and then just doing art at home for myself. Maybe selling a couple things here and there, but not to the point where I am right now. Like, it's just getting too difficult for everybody. Like, even my friends that have hundreds of thousands of followers are just getting also disillusioned. Like, it's a thing you can't really help, you know, unless you give into it. I have another ex-friend that I've noticed he's, not only he jumped on NFTs, but he's been doing the AI art thing too. So it's like, if you're not part of that movement, you're gonna get left behind. And yeah, you'll have some people that are kind of on your side, but even so. Oh man. I don't think I'd ever go back to my previous art jobs, Isabel. Maybe if I could find a nice game studio or like an educational animation job. Because I really did like doing animation for like educational projects. That was actually very fulfilling, surprisingly. Even though nobody would really see them, that wasn't really the point. I actually felt like I was making a difference, and that actually felt good. Where when I was working in mobile games, it was one of the most terrible feelings ever, knowing that your art was going towards something that was helping people maintain an addiction, you know? So when you're making mobile games, I mean, you might be like, oh my god, you were totally blowing that out of proportion. And maybe I am, but that's how it felt. And it felt like any art I did, it was just kind of like, didn't matter. But, giving your art purpose however you can, whether it's for yourself or for something, that seems to be much more important. And I think that's where I ended up with when I was doing some work for some educational stuff. So that was really nice. But I don't know if I'd go back to doing mobile games. If I did, it would be a very specific circumstance. But yeah, I don't know if I'd do the exact same thing again. It felt dirty. And I don't think I'd want to work for casino games either. And I'm not bashing anybody who does. You do whatever you want, but for me, that's not what I want. AI can only do so much. You'd be surprised, though. Kittens, if you look this up, it's doing a lot of things that look exactly like human work. Like, when it first came out, you could tell it was AI generated. It'd be like a mess, and it wouldn't look anything like anything, really, and it'd just be like interpretive art or something, or like impressionistic work. But now, if you type in certain things, certain artists, it'll paint the way they painted people or animals. Like, if I was, like, let's say I was popular to a famous degree, if you type my name in like Beatrix Potter and Brian Froud or something, it could make something that looks like all of our stuff. It's crazy. Like, one of the things is called Midjourney. If you want to look into it more, just don't go too far into it, but it's scary. Like, it's really getting scary. But you would think you would still need artists, and some people probably, like, this will probably cause a pretty big divide at some point, where some people will be really gung-ho like AI art just for the upfront stuff, and then you'll need art directors to take into account what the AI did and then weed through it and be like, well, what can we use? And then you'd still need an artist probably at that point to extrapolate it and bend it into what you need. But that still weeds out, like, you know, a bunch of jobs on the lower level. So it is going to get to that point in almost every industry where robots are used for that lower class stuff, and then the managers, the people who were the lower class in that job, become the managers of that, and then it goes up. So there won't be like a low thing, you know? Oh yeah, Erica, I could see that. Group discussions are good. Are there such a things as nice game studios? I have a couple friends that work for Zynga, and they say it's pretty nice. Though I don't know anything other than that, but they've been there for years, and they're happy. So I'm guessing that's a good one. I think any game studio that's probably pretty high up probably has a lot of problems. But if you get a smaller one, it could be good or bad. Like, I worked for a smaller one, two smaller ones, and both were kind of problematic. It really depends on the employees when it comes to the smaller ones, honestly. Oh yeah, Isabel, I would love that. I think that would be fantastic. Please do. I would be very appreciative. Yeah, honestly, I'll put this out there. If anybody here learns about a job they think I'd be good at, send it my way. I am completely open to that. I have nothing against it. I will definitely look into it. It's just at this point, I'm sick of hustling on social media. It's bad for me. It doesn't do much for my heart. And it's necessary nowadays. So if it's like, you can say I'm trying to, you know, mitigate how much social media I use. I'm trying to stay away from it and all that. You can say that. And you can do your best. But at the end of the day, you're returning to it to post something because you have to. And that's what sucks. And especially now that they've added getting paid for reels. You're getting payment for reels. It's even harder because now you have to say, well, if I don't post anything, I'm missing out on, say, an extra $100. And so that's how they're getting you now. They know people are starting to, you know, leave the social media sphere. So what are they doing? They're offering you money now, basically, to stay and create content. And it's a never-ending machine. That's the other thing. It is a marathon with no end. And it drives me nuts. It is Cavendish. Yeah, 100%. It's tough. I'm probably going to do a lot of this ground with pastel sticks. So, well, thank you, Isabel. I appreciate that. I'm going to take a quick picture of this, I think. So I've got, you know, process, pick. Oh god, of course my phone dies. My phone's been so dumb lately. And I know it's because it's too full of junk, but it's part of making media. So I mean, if you've seen me kind of thrown out reels instead of content lately, it's because I'm getting paid for reels. Because they really want people to just switch to video on Instagram. Like, they're weeding out static images basically 100% if they can, which is ridiculous. But sausages and potato salad. Well, that sounds good. I'm glad you got it figured out, EB. I think no matter what, though, I will still do my Patreon. I will still make paintings to sell. Prints, probably. Like, I'll still be doing what I'm doing. I'm just not gonna go hard on social media unless it's to promote those things. And that's it. Like, I'm not gonna hold myself to any schedule or anything anymore because it's just, it's too much. This is way too saturated. Homemade fries. Yum, 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 yum. Do love me some homemade fries. I'm gonna try this recipe I found yesterday. It has it's like roasted cauliflower with tahini, maple syrup, and some other things. Like, it looked kind of crazy, and I really like one time a week at least to try a new recipe. Last week I had made these spicy garlic noodles, and those are really good. Like, I've made that probably 2 other times in the past week since I found it. It was really good. I bought this cauliflower pasta. Like, it's pasta that's made with cauliflower because I can't do the regular pasta anymore. And it doesn't taste good. Some of the things that they sub with cauliflower and whatever don't taste very good. I mean, I love cauliflower, but it doesn't taste as good, you know? I'll try to find it again. Let's see. Roasted cauliflower, tahini, had maple syrup. What else did I have? Can't remember. I don't know if it had red pepper flakes. I'm gonna have to make my own tahini though, so that's gonna be interesting. Which is basically just crushed up sesame seeds, but let me see if I can find something similar to it. I actually think I saw it on Instagram. Oh, also, recently I swapped out soy sauce for liquid aminos, and I can't tell you how much more tasty this liquid aminos thing is. It's savory and it tastes like Worcestershire. Oh, here I found it. But like super subtle. It's just like this extra smokiness that the other one doesn't have. So here's the cauliflower one. This is what I wanted to try. Yeah, it's just tahini, Dijon, lemon juice, and maple syrup. So I'm excited to try this. It looks really good. Oh yeah, that would be good too. Yeah, you can sub cauliflower in for a lot of things. I've had pizza crust that was cauliflower instead, and that tastes really good. It's really crispy and nice. There's actually a place near us that has a cauliflower pizza. Like cauliflower pizza crust. It's good. It's surprisingly good. Gotta do this cat real fat. Been watching King of the Hill lately, so this cat has a gut with this tucked in shirt, just like guys in King of the Hill. They got the guts with the tucked in shirts. Yeah, potato salad and pasta salad. Oh man. The Midwesterner in me is very into cream-based salads. I love fat animals, right? Go for it, Erica, definitely. It doesn't work for everything, but it's surprising how much it adds, you know, because it's a veggie too, so instead of getting grains, you're getting veggies. So I guess that is the hidden nice side of kind of having a gluten problem, but at the same time it is less calories too. So anything that you have that subs out, you know, a grain for a veggie, like I have this zucchini meal where it's like zucchini, a protein, usually like a tofu or something, and this veganese goes with everything. Seriously, you don't have to be vegan to like it. It is like the best cream mayo type dressing thing. I put it in everything. It's amazing. I can't even. It's probably the best vegan ingredient I've ever found. But it tastes amazing with anything. Especially if you add a little sriracha and you just have like carrot sticks. Stupid good. Anyway. But yeah, like zucchini is what, 30 calories a zucchini? As opposed to like 290 calories, that's like a cup of pasta. It's ridiculous. Fat animals are the best. Coming from you, Cavendish, that's no surprise. Oh yeah, we don't even have an Aldi near us anymore. We're in a super rural area. We've just got Walmarts and Hy-Vees. Which, surprisingly, Hy-Vee is a good amount more expensive than Walmart. Especially when it comes to vegan foods and stuff. Oh yeah, zucchini fries are good. I also like sweet potato fries. Oh yeah. Sweet potato noodles are good too. So you know how you can make zucchini noodles? If you do the same process but with the sweet potato, still good. Still very good. Sweet potatoes are like extremely hearty. Very, very hearty. Agreed. And I've been having an affair with paprika lately. I'm putting paprika on everything. It's been so good. Just not too much of it. Not too much, but enough, and it's got this little kind of smoky flavor. It's real good. Bless paprika. All these songs on this playlist sound like they're in a Age of Empires or one of the PC like town builder games. Civilization, Age of Empires, Pharaoh, I think it was another one. All those. There's a time when I was like 13 or 14 where those games were the thing. I played the shit out of Age of Empires 2. Especially when I found the cheat codes. That was fun. Yeah, I've got a veggie slicer that's got all these attachments. It's like a mandolin, but you do this, and each attachment, I can show you. It's been really good because it's got a fry attachment, it's got noodles, it's all over the place. Let's see if I can get it for you. I don't know what they called it because I don't think it's technically a mandolin. Slicer. Yeah. This is my baby. I use this thing basically daily. Exactly, me too, Evie. I got this one. It was $15 and it's lasted me like 3 years. And yeah, then I stick them in the air fryer. The air fryer is another thing that is amazing. You want a good dessert in the air fryer? Take a banana, split it in half, open it up, put it on some foil, put like some fruit on it, some berries, brown sugar, and then just slap it in the air fryer. In 5 minutes, it's like caramelized and it's kind of like a, what is that called? Like a cobbler almost. You can cook oatmeal in the air fryer and it gets crispy and good and I love it. So good. Then again, I had, I think 2 days ago it was, that I put steel cut oats and a whole bunch of other stuff in our pressure pot, but I put it on the slow cook setting for like 8 hours. 8 hour long cooked oatmeal is amazing. I know it's just oatmeal and it's like, oatmeal, yeah, but no, especially when you put apples in there and they get all soft like from an apple. pie, and it's been in there for like 8 hours. Oh my god, it's so good. Urgh. Why do we always end up talking about food on my stream? Is that my fault? That's probably my fault. Oh my god, I love food. So good. You're wiping drool away, right? It's so good. Oh my god. I love it. It makes for a really nice nighttime snack too. Because I mean it's oatmeal, so it's good for you. It's a little heavy, but if you just have like a little bit of it, it's not so bad. But it's got enough sweet where it mellows it out, so you don't have that crazy sweet tooth anymore. Food is life. Life is food. Yes. Oh, another thing I got obsessed with was ginger shots. The past 2 weeks I was making ginger shots and ginger juice. The ginger juice had like, we cut up and blended ginger root, and then you crushed mint leaves, and then it had lemon and honey. If you don't like ginger, you probably wouldn't like it, but I really like ginger drinks because they're a really good swap for soft drinks if you're really used to pop, which I had way too much pop all my life. So swapping it out for kombucha or ginger juice, because it's got a bite to it, like a little spice. I love it. And it's so healthy for you. Like ginger juice, oh my god, it's so healthy for you. It feels good. But anyway, so I made that, and that's lasted me a few days in the fridge, and it's so good. I love it in the morning right away. Like it perks me up. Ginger juice. Oh god. I'm gonna try growing ginger, I think, this year because it's really easy. Ginger is like insanely easy to grow. After dinner. Good. Go for it. Get that ice cream. And last night I had a craving for ice cream, but instead I ended up making these nice little frozen banana discs. Took me like 2 minutes to make. Cut up a banana, put it in the freezer, and then while it was in the freezer, I melted this allergy-free, dairy-free, vegan chocolate in the microwave. The stuff tastes just like regular dark chocolate, so I'm totally cool with it. Surprisingly. And 30 seconds stir, 30 seconds stir, 30 seconds stir, and it's basically done. And then you take the banana back out, drizzle it all over it, put it back into the freezer for half an hour. It's an amazingly good snack. I really liked it. Oh hell yeah, lentil and sweet potato soup. Oh my god. We usually make Alton Brown's lentil soup. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. Oh hell yeah, I'm into this, Isabel. I'm gonna save this one. Thank you. Now I want this. Cold brew pitcher, they're definitely worth it. Absolutely. And you can do infused water too with fruit and veggies and stuff. It's way good. I feel like anytime you say you like infused water, it might look like you're like, I'm rich, I like infused water. But seriously, it tastes good. I really like infused water. It's tasty. I don't drink alcohol or anything, so I mean, the worst thing I drink is coffee. And I've done a very good job getting that down. Like, I was pretty bad last year. I was really too addicted. But this year I'm very good. I've gotten to a good point with it. I only have it once in a while, so I'm proud of that, but you know, I still have it. I also have matcha, which is a lot healthier for you than coffee, but it's still caffeine, you know. You just gotta make sure you don't overdo it on that either. But yeah. But they're in French. That's okay. No worries. I think I want to do the lace on her hat real quick, because I just feel like it. I knew I should have brought up that other pen. Hold on. Okay. At least 2 cups of coffee. I was at the point, my worst, I was having 4 shots of espresso a day. I can't drink regular coffee. It gives me this weird headache. But if I have espresso, I'm fine. So, yeah, at my worst, I was having, like, I needed to function normally with 4 shots of espresso a day, which is too much. It's much too much. So, I came off of that. I did have to wean myself because if I didn't do it right, I would get really bad headaches. You get a headache if you don't have coffee? Yeah, that's the first sign that you have a withdrawal problem. So if you want to like start bringing that down, you know, have maybe 2 cups one day, next day have a third or a fourth less, next day have a fourth less, and wean yourself back. But there's something about the ritual of coffee that's hard to give up. That's why it's like I had to swap it with something. So the ginger juice and the ginger shots have been a nice kind of swap because I don't know, I really like making drinks. I'm sure if I was into alcohol, I would probably be one of those people who's obsessed with making cocktails. Just because it feels like you're doing chemistry or something. It's really fun. I don't know. Yeah, it's a ritual, right? You really like that beginning thing in the morning. It gets you going. I totally understand. Thank you. The white one's the one I need. It was right next to this.
It's not.
It is.
I mean, it's literally not.
No, it is. I'm gonna come down there and I'll show you. Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, found it. It's true, yeah, when they know you by name. I think at some point I'm gonna go away from doing color with markers and just go back to doing grayscale and line work, because that's really what I like to do. Yeah, I'll just get back there at some point. Oh yeah, we're gonna do lace. It's also like the most beautiful day out we've had in a while, so I kind of don't want to stream too long because I really want to go outside. So don't hate me, but it's gonna be in the 90s the next week, and that is like too hot for me to be outside, which sucks because we didn't get like an actual spring. Like for us, spring is usually like I don't know, like 60s, somewhere in there, 50s, 60s. And that's my husband and my favorite kind of weather. But this 90-degree crap that's coming up. I also have a biopsy on Monday. Has anybody here ever gotten an EGD? Esophageal gastro... I forgot what the D stands for. But yeah, EGD. It's called an EGD. It's to see if you have like celiac or like Crohn's and all that. I have that on Monday. Never had a process like that before. Thank you, EB. Oh yeah, I'm gonna try. They're gonna put me to sleep. So I hope I come out of it high as a kite like I did with my wisdom teeth when I was in college. Because that's always fun. I ask my husband to take a video in case it's funny. Yeah, were you asleep for that? That's what they did. So they're gonna, or that's what they're supposed to do. They stick a camera down your throat and then they take, if they see something wrong, they take something, like they take a chunk out of your stomach. Hi, Twinkle Toe. I'm good. How have you been? I mean, I guess I'm good. That's a loaded question. So I think you had the same thing I'm getting, kittens. Yeah, did yours turn out okay? I mean, if you don't mind me asking. So that's why I gotta get done, which sucks because we can't leave our dogs alone, so we have to take all the dogs with us, an hour there, he drops me off, he drives an hour back, and then it's like 3 or 4 hours I'm there, and then he takes the dogs and drives an hour, comes and gets me, takes an hour back. We are so far away from everything. We can't get family out here to take me. We can't get an Uber out here. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I've been very lucky most of my life. I haven't had any health issues, but recently I've been going through some stuff where I'm trying to figure out why I have a bunch of food allergies. So, like yesterday I got a blood test for celiac, and then next week I'm going in for a biopsy. I've also had 2 ingrown toe removals in the past month. I don't usually talk about this stuff because I think it's kind of icky, but just to let you know, I've been going through a lot of health things. But inflammation in my upper intestine, but nothing too bad. Well, that's good. Food and you are not friends. Yeah, I hear you. So I don't usually have dairy, gluten, or egg. Egg was the other one. Eggs make me go crazy in pain. And this all happened within the past 2 years. Like, before that I could eat whatever I wanted and I was fine. But now apparently I have all these weird allergies out of nowhere. So we're gonna find out what that's about. Because I love food. And I am very sad if I can't eat what I want. But maybe this is me, getting, whatever. I don't want to say what I deserve, but I mean, I've had it really good for a long time. Yeah, that's what I've heard, Isabel. It's not too bad. No, I haven't been allergic to anything except allergies, like seasonal allergies, all my life. And then I got allergic to cats in probably 10 years ago. I grew up with cats everywhere, and then all of a sudden I developed a cat allergy about 10 years ago. So cats, seasonal allergies, and that was it. And then 2 years ago, now all of a sudden gluten, egg, dairy. I hope I get answers too, yeah. I just got tested for those too, Kristen. Kittens. Luckily I don't have PCOS because I thought it was a hormone thing. I had a hormone imbalance. I thought I did. I didn't. I didn't have diabetes. I didn't have PCOS. All that stuff. Because I was like, I hope I'm just fat. If I'm just fat, that's the easiest answer, and I'm totally cool with that. Fat for my frame, okay? Fat for my frame. And so we're figuring out if my vegetarian diet for a long time probably is making me have all these allergies, because a lot of a vegetarian diet is a lot of soy, it's a lot of gluten, because a lot of things have wheat in them, like the meat substitutes and things. And so I'm thinking that's where it's at, but either way. How you doing, Otter? Nurse injected the knock of juice in him and closed the IV, so it just poured down his arm, so he's awake for it, and he was a total trooper. Oh my god. That's crazy, Box. I had a friend who, he's got Crohn's disease, among other things. And he had taken his medication that morning, and you're not supposed to eat anything before this, which you know. And he had taken it, and they're like, oh, well, I guess you'll just be awake for this. And he said it was horrendous. Like, when they stuff it down your throat, like he was awake. And he didn't have as good of a time, so I don't know. I'm not one to go to the doctor either, Kristen. I had to wait till I got state insurance because I don't have any insurance. So we applied for state insurance and we got that. So now I've been able to actually troubleshoot all of these problems. I got my toe fixed. Got my toes fixed. Yeah, I'm in the process of getting all these things checked out finally, so I'm very happy about that, but it is taking a lot of time away from working, which sucks. Since we're rural, everything is a good amount of miles away. So like the gastro place that I have to go to, like I said, it's going to be a 4-hour thing that we got to bring the dogs for because they can't stay alone that long. And we have no family or anything around us. So it's a whole thing. Yeah, I can't believe he did. Like, he said it was the most excruciating, ridiculous thing he's ever had to do. And he was in the army. Like, so to hear a vet talk about that, like that, it had to be pretty bad. And I watched a couple like procedures online about what they're gonna do, which might freak out some people, but I actually really like knowing what they're gonna do. It was really interesting, and I really wish I could see what my stomach looks like, but the inside of his stomach does not look at all what I thought it would. So I don't want to say Miss Frizzle in the Magic School Bus is a liar, but it didn't look anything like what they showed when they went into the digestive tract. So there's that. But yeah, it was fun. See that? So for the biopsy, they go in, they have this cable that's probably about this big. And it goes down your esophagus and into your stomach, and they kind of look around your stomach, and then they go just to into the top part of your intestine and look around there. And this is specifically to check for like celiac and Crohn's and all that. So if they see a problem area, out of the little thing comes this little, it looks like this. It's like 3-pronged and it's just metal, and they just rip a chunk of your flesh out of there. Sorry if that's really graphic. And then they just bring it up through the tube. So the tube has a camera and a little claw machine toy that they grab a piece of you out of there and they pull it back out, and then they get it tested. So that's gonna be a whole thing. But that's Monday for me. And then hopefully, actually I have a call on the next day with a doctor that she's going to tell me apparently I have fibroids too in my uterus, which is great. Anyway, this is probably way too much information. Sorry. Let's get back to drawing this mouse. But yeah, lots of health things. So if I'm late with anybody's stuff, I'm sorry. I've been doing things. Me things. Oh, you got to watch Box? Oh, that's cool. Lucky. And my husband won't be able to watch. Licorice and cloves. I have this, my favorite tea is this licorice and peppermint tea. So now that you say licorice, I think I can have that probably afterwards. Lots of honey probably, but yeah. I just hope nothing goes wrong. You know, you always hope nothing goes wrong. And I'm sure it's just a basic procedure for them. They must do it all the time, so I'm not too worried. I mean, if a place had bad practice or whatever, they would obviously have bad reviews, right? Like, right? So thank you, Amanda. This is for somebody specifically who wanted some very, very cutesy characters. So I'm going extra simplified for my usual stuff. Very baby simple, you know. Sorry, my dog's going crazy. We have our town festival today. So people are going up and down our street a lot, like they're walking. It's a beautiful day for it too. They got very, very lucky. I think next year I'm gonna try to go to the festival. I'd like to see what it's like. This is our first year here, so last year we heard about it, and then this year I wanted to go see it, but since it's the same day as my stream, I didn't want to cancel the stream. But later tonight we might go down and watch there's a lighted boat parade, and that sounded really pretty. Oh, thank you, Box. Yeah, I haven't heard too many bad things. I mean, there's always going to be once in a while something, you know. Oh, jeez. Super condor, yeah. Oh, yeah. Isabel, I've been given a sheet. They always, anytime they do a procedure of any kind, they give you a sheet about what to do beforehand, what to do during, what to do after, so on the after part, it tells you, you know, what you should and shouldn't do. Thank you, Twinkle Toe. I appreciate it. It's not a big deal. I just wanted to let everybody know what's going on and why I'm kind of MIA here and there the past couple months. I usually don't talk about health stuff at all, because I don't know. I don't know why anybody would want to know that. I mean, other than how it affects my work, you know, usually I just say, hey, I'm going through some health stuff. Sorry if things are late, but I usually don't go through health stuff. I mean, I usually don't update unless I'm sick and things are late. If I'm sick and things are still in time, I will not even mention it. So. Oh, thank you, Twinkle Toe. Kristen, or Kittens, what did you mean, like, you felt good after the procedure? Like, you didn't feel anything? Or do you mean, like, they fixed something? Yeah, if anybody's really curious about what the inside of a stomach looks like, I totally think you should look up a EGD, like, process video. I found it extremely interesting because the stomach doesn't look at all like what I thought it would, and I feel really dumb about that, but this isn't exactly knowledge you were just, you know, given, you know, born with, so. Mattress Firm. What the fuck? I guess this video has ads. Wow. Oh, it restarted. That's what happened. Is this royalty free? Hold on. I guess we don't even know if these other ones are. Huh. Well, here we go. Really? Did they give your stomach something for that, or do you think just... They must have done something then, didn't they? I mean, because why would you just feel better after that? They're just taking out a piece to test, right? My problem is I keep bloating after I eat a lot of stuff, and it's like really ridiculous bloating. And if I eat something specific, it's like intense pain. Which is so dumb. It's just dumb. A system reset? Do you think it was because you fasted? That maybe it gave your stomach a rest more than the actual procedure? Because it said, like, you could only drink clear broth and clear liquids, and then 2 hours before the procedure you weren't supposed to eat or drink anything. So do you think maybe that was why? Or do you think it was the actual procedure? Yeah, because fasting, I've been doing the 14-hour fasting lately, where you stop eating at a certain time at night and then go to a certain time the next day and then start eating again. And that really does feel better on your stomach. And then right after I break breakfast, I drink one of those ginger things, and that really helps your stomach. I loved it. Oh no. Oh, kittens. At that point, did they just tell you, hey, so your body isn't doing this right, there's no real medication, so just avoid these foods? Is it that sort of thing? You should try an elimination diet. That's kind of how I found out it was gluten, egg, and dairy. I also took a food sensitivity test. If you haven't been to an allergist, you might want to check that out because it could be specific foods. Like, I'm somewhat allergic to garlic and oregano. Other than the whole gluten thing. Gluten is like immediate and it's pretty bad, but it on the allergy thing it says mildly allergic to garlic and oregano too. What do you mean, Amanda? Oh, that's cool, Otter. Yeah, like I find stuff like that pretty neat. Like I got an ultrasound of my pelvic region for seeing like PCOS stuff, and I learned some things about my insides that I just think is so cool. It's just, I don't know. I think it's really neat. Because Kristen, if you have a gluten thing, that definitely has to do with how your body is breaking things down. So like if you just have, you know, a bunch of gluten, like bread and stuff, and you start to bloat, it doesn't necessarily have to hurt, but if you start to bloat or things start to go wrong, like if I have gluten, I bloat. If I have eggs, I get really bad pain. And if I have any dairy, I break out with acne. So I got to the point I was able to pinpoint which each of these symptoms happens because of something else. It's crazy. So I don't know what all those mean, but they happen. So, I mean, figuring out that stuff, you just gotta eat and then wait and then see and then take notes. It's a pain in the ass. But if you also don't want to go to a doctor, you can get an Everlywell test. But it might be more expensive than whatever your insurance is. But I did the Everlywell allergy test like a couple years ago, and that helped me to know that I have a gluten problem. So that's what kickstarted me to going to the doctor after I got state insurance. Oh, that's good. Yeah, making things from scratch, man. It makes it so much easier. You have full control of what's in it. I'm really sad because I went on a quinoa kick a couple years ago. And man, I love that stuff. But I think that might have been when my problem started. The quinoa is delicious. Like when you mix it with some cheese and stuff, but of course I can't have the cheese anymore. But it was really good. I used to call it quinoa. I didn't know that was how you spelled quinoa. Quinoa. How do you call the allergy test? What do you mean by that, Isabel? Like, where is it? I got one from Everlywell. I'll send you the link here. I've done probably about 4 tests through Everlywell. I did a thyroid test, I did a hormone test, I did an allergy test, and I had another hormone test through here. and they're not like a substitute for going into specific doctors, but they do help you to figure out which doctors you should go to, and if you have a problem, if you like think you have an issue. So I thought I had a hormone imbalance, so I took the hormone test, and I had a couple things that were a little weird, so that made me go into the doctor, and it turns out it's other things. So it's always good to kind of figure that out. Yeah, I think some things are more time consuming than others to make, because lately I've been finding out how not time consuming certain things are. And it's like, well, why wasn't I doing this before? You know? But yeah, making bread, that's a process, because there's a lot of waiting with that. At least from what I've learned from my friends who have made it. Everything I eat that would be wheat now is basically either made of corn or oats. So I'm on a gluten-free thing. Man, I gotta tell you, I get sick of oats. I get really tired of oats. Oh, Asling, oh no, you showed up. This is yours. I'm glad you like it, because here you go. You wanted the farmhouse with the cat, bird, and mouse, yeah? It looks like very disjointed right now, so sorry about that. But it'll come together once I get the ground in and everything. Out of all the days for you to come, I was like, oh, she doesn't usually show up. She won't show up for this. I'll be good. Damn it. Well, I'm sorry if I spoiled it. So, we're not even halfway done right now, but I guess at least the final thing will be a reveal, right? No, don't be sorry. I mean, don't be sorry to me. If you're sorry for, if you're mad at yourself, that's another story, but I hope you like it. This is what I've owed you for so long. Oh, I see, Amanda. Was that kind of a headache sort of situation? Like, did those suck to do, or was it okay? Sick of the keto diet? Get back on it so I can lose weight. Does that help, Evie? Yeah, that was another thing that kind of kickstarted me into this whole health journey, is that I gained like 40 pounds in not much time, and I was like, this can't just be COVID, because I haven't changed my diet that much. So a lot of it has been the allergy thing, but if that's you, if you gained a lot of weight in a short amount of time, something else might be up. So definitely check into that. I mean, I also thought it was like stress, because a lot of I've been under crazy amounts of stress the past couple of years, and I was kind of thinking it might be that, but I was like, if it's stress, I think I would be having panic attacks or something, and I don't, so I'm guessing my stress is fine. And I took a test for that did like cortisol testing, which cortisol is your stress hormone, and I was fine. So if nothing else, I was relieved that I was handling my stress well. Having, many people angry at me a lot for these commissions and things that I've been doing. That was sending me into little spirals of sadness and things, so I'm happy to know that it didn't affect me on chemical level, you know. Yeah, and that's what I got tested. I got thyroid tested because thyroid has to do with hormones. So if you get like a lady hormone test, oh, check this out. Wow. If you get like a hormone test, cortisol's involved, and yeah, a lot of like LDL and a lot of lady hormones, because there's a female test and there's a male test. So yes, I've had my thyroid checked. I was fine there too. Believe me, I've been through the gambit. The only thing I haven't gotten like looked at is my celiac stuff, which is coming up. So the thing that I just want to learn of this is that I'm just fat. That would be the easiest, best outcome. And when I say I'm fat, I mean fat for my frame. I don't mean like, I'm not trying to get, you know, anybody angry at me for saying fat. But I'm totally fine with that. I've been fat before. I can be fat again. And if that's just what happened, like my metabolism tanked, I'm 36. The doctor actually had that talk with me. Like, remember, our bodies don't metabolize the same way as when we were 20. Like, she gave me that talk. So that's kind of my, okay, so we're getting to that point. And the next talk I'll probably have is eventually going to be about, like, menopause or some crap. So I'm getting up there. But once they have our metabolism talk with you, you know you're probably in the place where your metabolism has tanked. And there's nothing you can really do about that. So I've been okay, Asling. I've been dealing with money problems and health problems. My husband had to get a job, a non-art job recently, so that we can actually start paying for stuff, because the art industry is not in a good place right now for a lot of people. So if you're planning on getting into the art industry, do so carefully. Have backup plans, maybe come in with a part-time job first, because it's not as easy as it was, like even 5 years ago. Tons have changed. Tons of things have changed. Oh, really, EB? Well, if I can find a way to do that well, then I totally will. That's okay, Amanda. Don't be sorry. Yeah, struggles have been rough. Real rough. So there's that. But, I mean, other than that, I started off the stream mentioning that I kicked some ass this week on work I've got. And that's the first time I can actually say that in a long time. For a while, I was not kicking ass. I was trying to kick ass, but ass was not getting kicked. And finally, I've been able to kind of do that, and it feels really good. It's just, I think I was... Something was up. It really has been, kittens, yeah. Very frustrating, really. Yeah, but I'm very lucky that I have some, state insurance right now that's helping with that, because I would not be able to do this with how expensive it probably would be without state help. So I feel very fortunate, very lucky. I'm very grateful, so. Especially for women. Yeah, completely, right? So true. Women's bodies change on a dime so much of the time. It's crazy. Like, depending on age, diet, kids, no kids, all that stuff. I've had 2 friends that they had kids, and while they were pregnant, they developed diabetes. And then I think it's the gestational diabetes. And then when they had their kids, they no longer had diabetes. Like, that's crazy. The health world is nuts. Bodies are crazy. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's the little things. I don't like going too crazy, especially when the characters are pretty simple, because you want to keep it pretty, I don't know, like just not too detailed. Otherwise it kind of cancels itself out, if that makes sense. But, yeah. She wanted a little farmhouse. She wanted a little thatch cottage, certain animals, and I'm here for it. I'm gonna put in the ground later with some pastels because I don't want it to be too bright, too loud in comparison to everything else. And then it's really funny. I have a friend who commissioned some Twitch emotes from me. And those of you here know that it's been like 7 years and I haven't even done my own emotes. So hopefully after I do hers, I'll kind of be motivated to finish mine up. Because I just feel like a jerk at this point. Oh, there are, Isabel. There's one coming out that's really, really cute looking. It's called Puff Pals, I think. And I keep getting spammed with ads for it, but it looks really adorable. There are other games too. I'm trying to remember. Because I usually see them and I'm like, man, I wish I could have worked on that. But they exist. I promise you they exist. I've seen a bunch of them. They're out there. Oh, thank you, Amanda. Thank you. You all are so kind to me. It really makes me happy. I know that sounds really lame, but it's hard being in kind of a little art vacuum and you don't know how you're doing, especially when social media is being a butt. So to hear that you're doing all right, it's pretty nice. Thank you, Isabel. Yeah. Did you, Asling? Oh, thank you. Yeah, the Parabim was really fun to write. Not only that, but the Parabim was actually the first Guardian I think I've ever really had a human in it, let alone a baby. I usually don't include humans or babies in things, but I was like, you know, this would be kind of cute for this one. And there were actually notes I wrote down that I didn't get to put in for that one. And I was kind of bummed about it because there were these little backstory elements that I wanted to say, but I completely forgot about them. But anyway, it's weird how when I'm kind of brainstorming these creatures and these ideas, and I write down something in one notebook, and then the rest of it in another, I forget to go back to the other notebook, and sometimes I even forget some of my ideas, but I just realized that, hey, I could, you know, put these with something else later on, you know, another Guardian or whatnot. This month's Clover card is going to be the Turnip Tender. I had a cute story for that. I actually thought of the story first and then did the painting. So I was always kind of planning on making that a Clover card. But then for the Guardian this month, I'm kind of between two ideas. at some point I want to do like a cleaning spirit, like a soap spirit. And I also want to do a guardian that's based around an axolotl at some point, because they're just so silly looking. But I gotta kind of feel both of those out, and usually when I'm between ideas like that, I'll draw a bunch of both and see which one is grooving more with how I am at the time, and then I'll do it based off that. Because sometimes there's just no other indicator of how you're feeling towards something than how easy it comes out of you when it comes to creative things. Like, you might not have any problems with inspiration or anything, and both of them feel pretty equal, but then you just start drawing something, and for some reason something clicks better than something else. Sometimes that's all it is. And usually, you know, once I figure that out, I'm like, all right, time to just go with that. Oh, you too, kittens. Thank you. I'm excited for you to see your pet in armor. I think you guys are gonna like it. It's one of my better ones, I think. So enjoy your ice cream. Seriously. I miss a good, thick ice cream, man. Alright, let's see. Oh my god. My husband has this terrible noise for when he gets texts. It's an awful, awful sound effect. I hate it. He gets texted, I just want to throw his phone out the window. Does anybody else have something like that? Like a family member or something they have just drives you nuts, and it's something so stupid like that. I always think those things are funny. I don't want to go too crazy on this house. I'm trying to think if I want to do something special to it too. Maybe I can clump some of these together. That could look kind of fun. We've been watching Glow recently. It's a good show. It's got a few plot holes in it, but overall it's entertaining. It's a nice 80s like nostalgia trip. What's it about? It's about ladies wrestling, but it's like it's done really cute. It's got good characters. It's got Alison Brie, who is Annie in Community. She's good in it. But it's kind of like about female friendships, and they even touch on some like racism type things, and there's a few gay characters, and it's nice. It's got a cute storyline though. Like I really appreciate the wrestling characters. They're fun. It's kind of an underdog story too, like a group underdog story. Honestly, what I had told Gabe when we first started watching it is that it reminds me a lot of A League of Their Own. So if you like the movie A League of Their Own, you'll probably like this. But I do have a couple problems with it. There are certain things that feel kind of forced. Like there's a camping episode that they have a couple conversations with the group, and it feels very forced. But there are a couple story elements too that they put in there that haven't been answered yet. We're about 3 episodes away from the end of the show, and I don't know if they're going to answer them, so those would end up being plot holes then, which it's really weird they would add those the way they did. But otherwise, it's been pretty enjoyable. The characters are fun. Yeah, it's been okay. We also recently watched Heartstopper, which was adorable. It was absolutely adorable. I loved it. If you used to read a lot of webcomics, let's say in the 2000s, you'd probably really like this. It's really cute. It's really adorable. It's a sweet love story. It's so cheesy, but it's also very wholesome. It's a nice little teenage story. So if you're looking for something that's got some kind of like high school sweetness to it, that's not like drama heavy or anything. Like my favorite thing about it is that if you're somebody who ends up yelling at the TV about really stupid characters making stupid decisions, this show will make you feel really good because they actually do what you want them to do, and it doesn't hurt the story or anything. Like they don't throw in drama for drama's sake, and that's Heartstopper. So yeah, it's good. I like it. So watched that. Watched Glow. I finally started to watch Freaks and Geeks. That's cute. That's another high school kind of centric show. Again, also very cute. But yeah, I don't know. I've been watching all these while I work, so sometimes I'm checked into it, sometimes checked out. Oh, good, EB. I'm glad you got your yummy dinner. Well, Asling, I guess since you're here, is there anything you want added to this? I mean, if you want anything like props or anything added to it, let me know. I mean, that's the upside to you seeing it ahead of time. You can change something if you want to. You like it? Okay. Well, I'm glad you think it's perfect. Thank you. I hope it's what you were wanting. Again, so sorry it took me so long to get around to it, but at least we're there, right? You've been so wonderful waiting for it. Thank you so much. You want to boop the nose? Boop the snoot. While I'm doing this. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm glad you like them. They're very basic, but they are sweet. I'll take some pastels to this too to add some dimension to it. So all these parts I'm adding with white on the orange. This will probably be highlighted with yellow, like a yellow pastel. So it won't actually be white. It just looks white right now. Oh, there's that Christmas song again. I don't know why this... Out of all the songs they have in here, they have like 2 Christmas songs. It's like, what are you doing? It's weird to be doing things like this and then be doing the pet portraits, and the pet portraits have like this air of realism to them. It's also funny because 2 of my devoted Dandikin patrons, they enjoy dark art, so I kind of flex my dark art muscles with them, which I kind of started out doing dark art, to be honest. Then I went to really sweet fantasy stuff, but anyway, so I've been doing their stuff, and maybe I'll end up working on some of that on stream, but it's a departure. Some of you probably see it and be like, huh, okay. Do I have one? Oh, I don't. Shit. Otherwise I was going to show it, but it's kind of fun. Definitely not realism. Realism bores me. I don't find any joy in looking at something and then drawing it and looking at something and drawing it. I would rather look at something for a little bit, interpret it, and then draw it that way. Like, I respect those who can draw realism, but I personally don't. It's not interesting to me. I would rather see how somebody else stylizes something. Like, some of my favorite artists are the ones that have very stylized styles. You know, because you're always wondering, well, why did they decide to make the you know, jaw that long, or, you know, something like that. Like, there's more intrigue to it and curiosity, I feel like, and more insight into the artist. I feel like you can't learn too much about an artist that has like hyper realism, because I feel like they're not in there. It's just what they saw. So, you know, it's cool they can look at something and capture it, but I really think you're not learning much about the artist that way. But I think most of the time I'm happiest doing really clean lines, and usually doing more mystical stuff. That's when I'm the most happy. Probably when I'm doing my magic on my toned paper. But I also really enjoy just drawing clean lines. Like, at some point I think I'm gonna switch over to just doing a lot of clean work with flats. I'm not really into rendering. Like, I actually added an option on my website on the pet portraits to just do basically pencils. And the pet portrait then is like $100 less. But I found out when I do my pet portraits, the time that I have the most fun is when I'm drawing it. The rest of it is just kind of like, like, I like it and it turns out okay, but it's not when I have the most fun on the piece. I have the most fun doing the pencils. So, I think later this year, when I'm done with all the pet portraits, I'm just going to lean into doing pencils a lot more. And then I'm going to start going back to my animating. Like, I have a degree in animation. I love to animate. Animating's like one of my favorite things in the world. There's just no way to really make money on it on your own, unless you get really known for it online and you get a bunch of patrons who are curious as to how you do it. That's really the only way to make money with it. Unless you work for a company. So they don't make it easy to have independent animators, out and about or whatever. But you have to have the time to make things, to animate things, before you can actually start making money by animating things. It's like catch-22. Yes, Isabel, yes. Surrealism is like one of the coolest things ever. I love a good like surrealist movie too. Oh man. There are a lot of surreal short films online that are just gold. They're so good. Like one of my favorite surrealist filmmakers is I think he goes by Sylvan Word. And there's another guy starts with, I think is Daniel something. But I'll show you one of my favorite ones. It's not even that surreal. We Have Decided Not to Die is one of them. And it's not like crazy surreal. Daniel Askill, yeah. So I mean, it's just mainly regular film, but a lot of it is done in just such a way that it's surreal and it feels normal but also not normal. But I love what he does with filming the body and everything. It's really cool. So if you enjoy that sort of stuff, there's this guy, and then there's Sylvan Word. But there are also really good surrealist animations out there too. Oh my gosh, like 3D animations. I love it. Yeah, here we go. So there's this guy. It's funny because a lot of these surrealist filmmakers, they do regular stuff like commercials and things. But you look at their personal work and it's crazy. I love that. He did a lot of music videos for this one musician, but I think this was one of them. Yeah, man, when music videos used to be like the thing. Oh, and you want to talk about music videos being art form? Dude, Rammstein lately is putting out the best shit. For real. I can't find it. What's that video I'm thinking of? Yeah, if you look up Sylvander Word, you'll see it. But now Rammstein's recent videos, like Zeit and what was the newest one? Oh, Angst. Angst and Zeit are pretty good. Like these, even if you don't like the music, like these are very powerful. I really like these. I've liked Rammstein since early or late 90s, honestly. They're very good social commentaries. So even if you don't like the music, maybe mute it and watch it. It's good. I guess it's got some, both of them have graphic elements, blah, blah, blah. It's a metal band. What do you expect? But as far as metal goes, really Rammstein's keeping it real. Like, Korn released a new album recently. It's okay. It's not as good as, you know, their last good album, in my opinion, was not Untouchables. It was after Untouchables. Behind the Mirror? Was it? Behind the Mirror? Whichever one has Bottled Up Inside. I can never remember the name of the fucking album. Yeah, I think Take a Look in the Mirror. Oh, no, not that one. Is that it? No. Hold on. Oh, yeah, it was Untouchables. Alright. Yeah, same. Oh my god, Isabel. Like, I don't know what it is about album names, but I can't remember them either. I thought it was after Untouchables, but maybe it is Untouchables. God, it's Untouchables. So, in my opinion, the last good Korn album was Untouchables, but that's just me. Arch Enemy? Really? Are they new? I don't know who that is. Here I am talking about 90s and 2000s new metal. There's probably better metal. Oh, they formed in 95? Wow. I'm gonna have to look into them. My all-time favorite band was Orgy, but then they, like, split up and, like, Jay reformed the band, and it's not the same. And I also loved Garbage. Garbage was huge for me. I also love Birthday Massacre. Birthday Massacre's great. Lately, my favorite musician / band has been Gary Newman. The guy who wrote Cars has amazing electronic metal. Like, I love it. He's heavy as hell now. I would love to go to a Gary Newman concert. Like, this is probably my favorite song in the past 10 years. I'm also super into a lot of happy hardcore and hardstyle music. Still, I know that's kind of sad, but like Searle is still one of my favorite DJs. It's so dumb. In This Moment is great. Yeah, and Five Finger has some good songs too, for sure. It's just crazy, like, how much metal just isn't around anymore. Have you? That's awesome. Yeah, it's just weird. It's really died off. I'm not as heavy into just straight metal as my one friend Cloverpuff is. You think it's funny when, you know, maybe I'm into harder stuff, but Cloverpuff is like hardcore, and look at her art. I love it. She's, oh, is that her? That's not her thing. Sorry. I think she's under Cloverpuff art. Yeah, never mind. Scratch that one. This is the right one. Yeah, that's the right one. But she does all this really cute merch, and she just is a super metal fan. Like, black metal, death metal, like hard metal. And she's just adorable. I love her. Very nice person, too. I love when the people who make the cutest art, like, have some of the most dark tendencies and things. I love it. It's so cute. But she's so sweet. But she's such a metalhead. Oh. Alright, yeah, I've almost been streaming for 3 hours, so I'm gonna cut it soon. Just because I want to go to that festival, like, in 3 hours, but I want to eat first. But hopefully it'll be fun. Be there for a little bit. Really hard to find turnips around here. We've been to 3 places and I wanted to find turnips and I cannot find a turnip. Yes, Isabel, yes. That 100%. It's just our town's little festival that they have every year. It's such a small town. We have one main road that's like 4 blocks long. So we're a very small town, but since this is our first year living here, we caught the tail end of it last year, but I just wanted to see some of it this year. And it's just like yesterday and today. It's only 2 days. But apparently it's like the biggest deal for this little tiny town, and it's really cute. But there's a light boat festival at 8, and I really wanted to see that. Like, we're technically 30 seconds from the Mississippi, like, by car. Like, if you just go up to the top of the hill, it's like a 5-minute walk, you can see the Mississippi. Like, we're that close to it. So it's pretty cool. And so we were thinking about just walking up the hill and just seeing what that looks like. Because we never do things like this anymore because we can't. We've been trying so hard to just make enough money to stay afloat that if one of these things happens, we really want to just see it for a little bit. But the rest of it, it's like, it's all Dutch themed. So they're like Dutch dancing and people are selling clogs and Dutch pastries, and it's really cute. It's really, really cute. If anybody knows Stars Hollow in Gilmore Girls, our town is like that if it was smaller. Like, Stars Hollow is still a bigger town, I think, than ours is by like a good amount. Like, this town is very small. It's about as small as the town I grew up in Minnesota, so it's funny. It's like I went out in the world, I lived in all these cities and places and things, and then I come back to be in a town that's as small as the one I grew up in. Which, at first, I felt kind of weird about that, because you almost feel like you failed. But no, just because you ended up kind of in a smaller place than it, like when you started, doesn't mean that you failed. You went and you came back. You experienced and you came back. So it also means that I know I like small town living. Like, I like suburbs. I don't like cities. I've never liked cities. Living in the city is not for me. That kind of thing. I think a normal town would usually have like some sort of rides or something for their little like town festival, but we don't even have that. Sarah, thank you for the follow. How are you? Welcome. fireworks. It's crazy. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Yeah, feel free to lurk. I'm glad you enjoy it. Thank you. So I might, coming up, stream during the week if I'm going to be working on some pet portraits or some other work. And if I do, I'm probably going to have my VTuber avatar up instead. So I made a little Cloverkin in a VTube thing. So we'll have that instead of my face. And then Saturdays you'll typically have my face. But I think I'm getting to the point I can do a few of these during a stream. Little tufts of grass everywhere. Clumps. I want mainly to be a dirt area. I don't want too much grass everywhere. Because it is a farm. Farms don't usually have too much grass in the traveled areas, you know? Does anybody have anything they want to talk about before I head out soon? I might add some dandelions. Asling, do you like dandelions? Man, I love dandelions. I am so bummed because if we don't mow our lawn, you know, the city gets all blah blah blah. But I mean, we have so many dandelions and they're so fucking cute. Oh, EB! You are so kind. I'm so happy you like it all. Thank you. Oh my gosh. You made my day. You do? Okay. I'm gonna throw some in. Oh, Evie, you are the sweetest. Seriously. Thank you. Oh, my heart. Oh, it feels so nice. I'm really happy you enjoy it, seriously. Let's see, let's put some here. Maybe a puffy one up here too. They always have the little dark parts in the middle. Right? And then they have their outsides. Oh. Thank you, EB. I'm glad you enjoy them so much. Can't wait till I have more where I can make or just random things on the streams. I try to do like, you know, personal project type stuff on Saturdays, but if I'm kind of strapped for time on what I'm working on that week, I'll try to work on it during the stream. So that's kind of what's going on today. I really wanted to get this to Asling, so I'd work on it during the stream. But most of the time I'm doing like a painting or something because it's my day off, but it's not a whole day off. It's like a couple hours off from work. He likes the stories. Oh, that means so much. Tell him thank you for me. And thank you for spreading around my stuff. That's the best way to get more people on board with, you know, my work. Because, you know, if I don't get enough people kind of behind me on stuff and like my Patreon and things, then I might have to close the Patreon if I'm not bringing in money and I have to get a job. So anytime I hear that somebody's spreading around my work, it makes me feel really good because that means I can continue doing what I want. So thank you for that. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate that. Seriously. You don't know how much that helps. Especially with how the algorithm is nowadays. People just don't see other people's stuff, so the only way to do it is to take it upon yourself to show other people things, you know? I had a dandelion guardian that I made maybe 2 years ago. wasn't last year. It had to be 2 years ago now. And its name was Papoose. And it probably still remains one of my favorite guardians to this day. Let's see if I can show a thing of him. Oh, thank you, EB. 2020. So yeah, 2 years ago. So this is one of my favorite guardians I've ever done. It was a longer story, but that one was really graphic with how I tried to write about the imagery. It was just really fun. I like that one a lot. There's some of my guardians that I want to go back and actually animate, like a little, not really a short, but something pretty quick that's more than what I animate normally for them. I just think that would be so fun. I just love some of them so much. I still like the squash spirit too. That was a fun one. The bellwork. I really like the idea of the bellwork and the lintel. Those are some of my faves. Alright. Well, I think this is where I'm going to end for now. I've still got to do a lot to the ground. There's a lot of finessing to do on the background elements. I have to color in a lot of things with pastels. But otherwise, it's a good start, good basis. Got the characters down how I want them to be. Yeah, I think, Hesling, I think this will be ready sometime this next week to get to you. I'm hoping. I should have given you a heads up. That's what I should have done. I should have been like, hey, I'm going to be working on it today. If you want to see it, cool. If you don't show up. Well, thank you, EB. And this is like an 8x10, so it's about this big. Also, you've got this on the back of it, Asling. Hope that's okay. I don't like wasting paper, so sorry about that. Thank you. I'm so happy you decided to join, though, today. Let's see if I've got anybody online I could raid. Seems like during summer, no one's really on. Yeah, I got nothing really. Oh yes, thank you. Please do. Alright everybody, so I stream Saturdays at 2 p.m. CST. I'm going to try streaming throughout the week. I just probably won't have a face cam on, just because I don't want to wear makeup. It is that simple. Please, if you enjoy what you see, check out my website. It's got my shop on it. Also, my Patreon. It's got lots of stuff. I've got mailed rewards. Oh, Alex. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're leaving for today. I'm at 3 hours and I'm hungry. My Patreon is here. I don't know why why aren't my commands working? Moobot is killing me. My Patreon is just patreon.com/Cloverkin. Where you at, Moobot? You jerk. Oh, thanks, Alex. Every Saturday, 2 p.m. CST. So 3 hours ago from now, for wherever you are. I know you're probably still in Florida, somewhere in there. Otherwise, yeah, I think that's it. All right, until next weekend. Stay cool. It's going to be in the 90s here in the Midwest, so, enjoy. Eat good food, see people, love each other, be nice, take care. I love you, bye.